Going to wrap up the Gold Miners season. We've got the coach and general manager, Ryan Wood, on the horn from his home in Barrie this morning. Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am great. So I asked you on the phone, is it that first night back home in Barrie, back in your own bed again, was that the best night ever?
Well, no, not exactly, because my son was jumping all over me. So,
well, that should make it even better with your son
good
jumping on top.
It was good in terms of that, but in terms of the getting the sleep part, it's not as good as when I'm in KL. But I'll take a lot less sleep.
Plus the circumstances surrounding it too, with you being home early from the playoffs.
Yeah, well, now that we've had some water has run under the bridge, and maybe a bit of the sting has come out of the situation. How do you when you assess it now? How do you feel?
Well, I'm obviously you always want to go as far as you possibly can in a season, but I mean I think that what we had, and how young our roster was, I think that a lot of them got to learn a lot, and that's some pretty valuable experience for every one of our players. We weren't where we needed to be. We were a younger team and playing as older guys. We didn't get bounces, and you know what? But at the end of the day, we didn't get shut out. And Cochrane's a good team, and you got to tip your hat. They were the better team.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Ryan, I guess looking back, the most disappointing would be Game 3 at home, right? Like, what was such a dud,
Yeah, it's one of those games where you just, it's getting away from you. And I mean, when you're down 3-0 or 4-0, I'm pretty sure that everybody's looking already towards Game 4.
Yeah.
And you're not really so concerned about what's going on for the rest of Game 3.
As a coach, do you learn something from that, Ryan? As a coach, do you looking back, do you pick up on something or that you maybe want to do in the future? Or as a coach, after a couple of good games in Cochrane, and then I know you were bewildered after the game is what happened,
Well, to me, the funny thing about that Game 3, it wound up 8-0, but I think the first period was the best period of hockey the Gold Miners played all year.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, we really did play very well in the first period.
But as a coach, do you pick something out of that?
I don't really think so. I mean, you look at a lot of hockey series at all levels, there's always duds.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
You look back at Pittsburgh's playoff run last year when they played Columbus, and I was actually at the game in Columbus. It was Game 6, and it was a closing game for them, and they had a gang spank 6-1.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't think that the score is indicative of exactly how well the boys played even throughout the game. I mean, we were in the penalty box for the majority of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they allowed Cochrane's age to get in their heads a little bit, and I think from a mental standpoint, I think that it was something that they could learn from. But at the end of the day, I mean, I'm not disappointed with the efforts throughout the whole series. If we would have buried some of our grade A scoring chances that we did have, it could have been a completely different series.
Now, how many kids are eligible to come back next season, Ryan?
Well, we could have 14 of the guys could come back.
Now, for the casual fan,
yep.
In this offseason, especially with the kids eligible to return, what's the process? Are some of these kids looking to graduate to a higher league? And what happens from your standpoint? Are you trying to help them to get to a higher league? And if it doesn't work out, you welcome them back? What's the deal? What goes on in the summertime?
Well, the big thing is that every player wants to play at the highest level possible, and they want to achieve the best opportunity to get, whether it's an NCAA Division I opportunity or play major junior. So all of our guys have aspirations of trying to make a higher league. So for them, a lot of them have interest in the North American Hockey League, which for the people that don't realize is it's probably the second best league in North America that pushes players to Division I NCAA.
Yeah.
So we've got some guys that are going to have some opportunities to try out for a couple of those teams down south.
Okay.
And I've got a lot of relationships with coaches down there, so they're going to get opportunities to go to main camps. And they've all said that, you know what, if I'm not successful, I'd like to come back.
That's
so
right.
We've got a lot of guys that are in that boat. I mean, unfortunately, it's a waiting game, and you have to be patient. Something that I've learned here throughout the season is patience is a virtue when it comes to the recruitment process.
No kidding.
You don't need to go crazy right away and bring in guys that really aren't at the level. Just to have fillers. You got to make sure you have your
right.
affiliates and go from there. So, I'm pretty optimistic about what we can potentially have back. I'm also realistic as well about what I potentially could lose.
Yeah,
so
true too.
It's one of those things where you just wait and see. But American Hockey League players go into NHL training camp every year looking to earn an NHL job.
Yeah.
Right. So NOJHL players go into whatever next level that they're trying out for, looking for a job,
and then follow from there.
Exactly. So it's a trickle down effect that and it's the nature of the league that we're in. We're not the number one choice for a lot of hockey players. So they go through their process, and once they know, okay, I'm not ready for this league, or maybe this coach doesn't see something in me that Ryan does, or whatever. That's the nature of the beast, and it's something that we have to deal with as a league and as a team, and we just power through it.
Okay, so you went into coaching kind of blind to the league.
Yep.
And you had to put a team together. Now, would you put it together a little different now that you've been in the league for a year? You think there's different priorities than you originally thought?
I think that my main thing was build from the net out. So I knew, and at the beginning I didn't have great goaltending. I had okay goalies in for camp.
Yeah.
But I knew that they weren't going to be good enough. So I filled in those pieces with obviously McEwen and Winter, who were a great tandem for us all year. And then you look at defense. All right, what do I have for D? All right, I knew that throughout the year we were pretty solid on defense. I knew that we needed somebody to quarterback our power play. So midway through the year, what do? I go get Connor Evans, which he was a stud and helped us out immensely. I think where we lacked was there was some very good forwards that we had, but I think that we lacked the depth up front that some of the other teams had. And that's an area that now I know, okay, this forward is the right type of forward.
And what type is that, Ryan?
Well, you've got to have guys who can finish, right? And we also had some bad luck. You look at if we would have had Kevin Ford, if he doesn't pack it in because of injuries and concussion stuff, there's a lethal offensive threat that helps our lineup.
That's right. A lot of folks forgot about Chevy in that. He was being counted on to be the leader of the offense along with Fife, and unfortunately it didn't work out.
So then you bring him in. He plays basically 4 periods of hockey, can't come back, decides not to. I don't have another card. I lost out on that card, right? Yeah. So you make plans around things, and then roadblocks come up, and you go, holy Hannah, what am I going to do now, right? So you kind of you battle with it, and for me, I think it's a whole card situation is what's going to be the biggest change for me next year. I know how to manage them better now. Yeah, I have a better idea as to how to go through the process, and I learned a lot through how the league is operated and how it ran.
Right.
Because I came in green, didn't really know anything about it, and I was learning on the fly, and I learned a lot. And I think that for a guy who didn't really know the ins and outs of how the card system works and whatnot with the league, I thought that we competed every night, and we were still one of the few teams in the league throughout the regular season that beat every single team in the league.
That is true.
That's an accomplishment in its own right.
That is true.
Okay, and what about players in the community, Ryan? You think that's? I know you were kind of playing catch up this year and not being in the league, but priority of like the Kirkland Lake will support teams, but you think you did enough in the community and getting out there? And
well, I think that it all stems from a little bit of give and take between the team and the community. I think that if we had somebody that was spearheading that process,
you think that's a priority there?
I think it's a priority in every team and every league, and I think that it should happen for sure. We were in the community, but you're probably right. Probably not nearly enough as it probably could have been. But it takes amazing volunteers and people to spearhead those initiatives. And I hear that you're somebody who wants to be involved next year, Greg.
I'm an objective observer of this. That's why I asked the questions.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. So definitely an area that I think that we can improve upon for sure. And I think that if we, added a few more pieces to, our organization and people who wanted to be involved and spearhead it, I think that, emails should come through to, to Ferg or to me or president, whoever, that maybe they sit on the outsides wanting to be involved in the organization. I mean, we're always looking for good people, right?
Yeah, we're always trying to add some more people around the table to help out,
So what's the off season like? You go to a few of these tournaments and stuff now, Ryan?
Yeah, so I got a showcase team that will participate in 3 pretty popular tournaments down in Toronto. So it's nice the fact that I'm down here, so it makes it a little easier. We'll get a look at some players from all over Canada. They're flying in for it. So we'll see if they're at the level, because the caliber of the tournaments are all kids that play in the OJ or Junior B and the Goj or some NO players, some good American kids come up. There's even major junior kids that play in these tournaments. Right so the level is good. So you get to see if the kid can skate with these kids, and if they can't, then it's pretty easy to weed out the ones that just aren't quite ready yet.
Exactly. So. Well, Ryan, thanks for doing this. It was I say it was a successful season for a rookie coach, and coming into the league, not really knowing what you were up against. Yeah. I mean, over 500, a third-place club in the division, top half of the league. It was a good year, and we look forward to bigger and better things come August, September.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I'm very excited about the potential core guys that we can have back. And building around those guys, and then adding some additional pieces over and above those guys. I really like our future when it comes to the on-ice product that we're going to be able to put together for the fans of Kirkland Lake.
And thank you for being available to us all season long.
Absolutely. When I went downstairs after an 8-0 loss, he was ready to talk to me.
Oh, yeah. Win or lose, good or bad, Ryan shows up, man. And that's what he's trying to instill in his team as well. Thanks for doing this, brother. Have a great summer. Say hi to your wife, Catherine. Have some fun with the kids this summer as well, and we'll keep in touch.
Will do, guys. Have a great summer yourselves, and we'll be back up at some point over the course of the summer to visit with our friend Tom and head up to his cottage and enjoy a weekend. So we'll make sure that we all get together then.
Well, there you go. Have a good one, Ryan. Thanks again.
Good. Take care, guys. Have a great weekend.
All right, you too. Happy Easter to you and the family.
Same to you guys.
Coach and GM Ryan Wood on the horn with us this morning, wrapping up the Gold Miners season. 7:51. Greg will be back in a couple of moments. Tabloid trash next on the agenda.